we have an opportunity to learn on a regular daily basis from Rabbi Rebecca Weinstein. But today she is our Ani Ma'amina speaker with a unique message that we had not heard before, and I think is really, really important for us to give the fullest of our attention to Rebecca, to Rabbi Rebecca in this moment. So Bevakasha, I'm spotlighting you.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Tillis, and Shabbat Shalom Lekulam and Boker Tov. I had recently been accepted to rabbinical school, and my parents, in their excitement, had started sharing the news with family and friends. One day, my brother and I were walking down our driveway, and as our neighbors passed by, they stopped to congratulate my brother on his acceptance to rabbinical school. I smiled and shared that actually I had been the one accepted to rabbinical school and not my brother. A few years later, once I had already started rabbinical school, I arrived at the college where I was leading high holiday services. I was checking in to get the key for the house I would be staying in. When I walked up to the desk and shared that I was Rabbi Weinstein, the woman behind the desk began to apologize, saying she didn't realize that I was a woman and that the house they had put me in to stay currently had a male occupant, and so they would find somewhere else for me to reside. When you picture the word rabbi in your head, an arts and crafts, fashion lover, glitter everything, rubber duck gifting, young female rabbi is probably not what first comes to mind. And yet most days, it is very much who I am. It has taken me a long time to come to a place of fully embracing who I am and my legitimacy as a female rabbi. I have always been very girly. In kindergarten, I would wear tutus to school and carry a pink Barney the Dinosaur bag filled with hair accessories. I'll share with you a few pictures of me as a little one. So this is me rocking a little pink fluffy dress. And then here I am on my way to kindergarten in a tutu. I have also known for a very long time that I wanted to be a rabbi, and I started preparing myself for rabbinical school while in college. This is a picture of me in college with a shirt that my friends made me that says rabbi on the back. I think the feelings of wanting to belong and to see our semblance in others are very real human needs. And when I started rabbinical school, I looked around at my classmates and felt like I stuck out like a sore thumb. I had shown up for my first week of classes in a similar fashion to how I present myself to you all now: heels, glitter, and a bubbly personality. So I toned down what I wore, how I acted, trying to blend in, worrying that if I was truly myself, I would be ostracized or not taken seriously. After all, how many other glitter-loving rabbis had I met? So I exchanged my glittery notebooks and gel pens with frills for plain college-ruled paper and ballpoint pens. And perhaps even worse than that, because I was worried that I would say the wrong thing, I stopped raising my hand and I stopped sharing what was in my heart. And you know what? It made me so miserable. I hated that I had to hide who I was and what I believed because I was worried what others might think and what they might say. I was worried others wouldn't think I was a real rabbi. Just as an aside, I often look at you all walking in the hallways or sitting on the field during lunch and think about the tremendous pressure you must feel to act or dress a certain way. Sometimes maybe you genuinely love the current trend, and sometimes maybe you feel like it's forced upon you. I know I experienced this in middle school, and it is so hard. As I took more and more classes in rabbinical school, rose to advanced levels in my studies, and received accolades from community members, my teachers and classmates saw how serious I was about becoming a rabbi, and I felt more comfortable embracing my own voice and my own style. It does make me sad to think back on the fact that I felt as though I had to prove myself academically, rabbinically, pastorally, before I could truly be myself, especially when I felt as though a lot of my peers did not have to go through this same process. Once I was able to be myself, I felt liberated. I also began to recognize the power of rabbinic diversity within Judaism. Communities are all unique, and there need to be different types of rabbis in order to serve them. Ani Ma'amina. I believe in the importance of being who you are, knowing your own self-worth, and trusting that you have an important voice to share. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Can we give some love and appreciation? I think from where you're sitting, maybe a sign language sign of, or you can applaud and she can see your hands. clapping. That was really, really great. What we did last time, Rabbi, was that if you recall, Rebecca Lurie actually wants to go first, but we had we'll have if you have a question, please let the teacher in the room know, and the teacher can raise the hand. And we might not get to everybody, but luckily Rabbi Rebecca is around. But go ahead, Rebecca Lurie, please.
Rab, that was amazing. I loved it. And it's so inspirational. And I just wanted to share a really quick story for myself that was so similar to you, just to let people know that this happens all the time. So when I first got this job, I was at Panera meeting with Rabbi Perkins, who's the rabbi of Temple Aliyah, and Rabbi Josh Elkin, who was my predecessor. He ran the school, was sitting at a table at Panera with 3 women. And he called us over and said, "Oh, hi, come on over. I want to introduce you all to the new head of Schechter." And here I was standing with Rabbi Perkins, and they all looked to Rabbi Perkins and said, "Welcome to the job." And it was this eye-opening moment for me to say, like, actually, it's me. And this image they had of who should be a head of school was this rabbinical, rabbi, male rabbi, who was in his late 50s, 60s, whatever. And the fact that that was not the profile of me was really just so eye-opening, and I think had given me ammunition to be awesome. Yeah. So anyway,
totally, I totally hear that. It just sort of lights the fire and makes you want to go.
I just wanted to tell you I'm so inspired by you, and that I feel it also, and you're the best.
Thank you. Likewise.
Okay, 8C, somebody from 8C wants to ask a question, which is great. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute you and actually spotlight 8C.
We have people from 8C. And my question is, do you think it's getting better for diversity in rabbis and acceptance of them in Judaic circles?
Absolutely. I think we're seeing more and more diversity within the rabbinate, and I think it's a beautiful thing. I think communities, as I said, all need a different rabbi. All communities are unique, and there needs to be a rabbi to serve all of them.
Awesome. And we're going to go with 8A now. So we're going to add 8A here, ask to unmute. A lot of clicks, but go ahead.
Okay. So in society, it often, there's pressure, and it feels like there are a lot of things that are forcing you to either dress a certain way or act a certain way, like you said in your speech. Both as a student and a kid and an adult, and also as a female. So what are some ways that you feel that you can go against the trends and the what do you call it?
The norms.
Yeah, the norms. Thank you. The norms, while also feeling confident in yourself.
Well, I think just the thing I used to do is I'd always hype myself up. I would do all right, you are great. You got this. You can do this. So I also think being your own cheerleader and believing in yourself is really important. And I think knowing that you have a really important voice to share, and that we live in a society that will thrive from multiple perspectives, right? If we just all share the same perspective, we're not going to progress. That really we need to each share our voice in order to bring the fullness of conversation to light, right? So I would say, trust your own voice, trust yourself and what you love to do. And I think the other thing that's important is also listen to others, right? And I think that if you respect others, then hopefully they will see that, and that they will come to respect you as well.
Nice. Thank you, Talia. So we're going to get 5A here. Somebody from 5A, it looks like Maya Racklin has a question.
Yeah. Hi. Did you ever wish that you hadn't been so afraid to be who you were? Do you feel like because you sort of slowly revealed who you were, they took you more seriously than if you had just automatically been yourself?
Yeah, I mean, that's such a good question, Maya. If I could go back in time, I think day one I would have hit the ground running, just being okay, this is who I am. I was accepted into rabbinical school for who I was, and I needed to trust that that was good enough. and to really embrace what I had to say, embrace my style, not try to like fit the box of what I thought a rabbi should say, what a rabbi should do, what a rabbi should look like, but know that what I had to offer was beautiful, and just to trust that.
Nice. We're gonna go to I can't tell what that is, sorry. 4A. 4A, we're gonna add you, and looks like Eden has a question, which is great.
Did you ever go back to wearing your pink clothes?
Oh yeah. I would say I really was able to step into my own self probably the end of my 3rd year of rabbinical school. So my first 3 years of rabbinical school, I think I was a little hesitant, and then the second half of rabbinical school went a little bit more smoothly. Although I'll say that there were moments after that where I did get nervous. I took a Talmud class that was all men. It was, I think, 15 people, and I was the only female there. And so there were moments where I had to really just like remind myself that like what I did and what I loved was okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
We have somebody from 6C here. So 6C, it looks like it's gonna be Zoe and Melina. Oh no, Galia. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, guys.
There was a problem with the unmuting, but so do you think there's still like a diverse? So you said something about like the diversity between women rabbis and men rabbis. So do you think that in the not just rabbinical terms, but in other terms, do you think there's like a greater diversity?
So I want to make sure I'm understanding your question, Zoe. Are you saying that, do you think there are these same pressures within other professions with people wanting to be able to be themselves, but feeling as though they have to sort of fit a box of what that profession should be?
Yeah, like that, and like sports and stuff like that.
Sure, absolutely. I think we exist in a society where unfortunately there have become these like boxes, if you were, that says like, this is what a doctor looks like. And this is, stereotypes. I think you learn about this with Miss Curran.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important that we just understand that we need to be who we are, that what we have to say is important. I'll say like, also, we need to listen to the other voices, right? So if people are like saying like, maybe you want to rethink what you said or what you did, like, always allowing space for feedback is so, so important. So I'm not saying like, just do you and don't listen to others. I'm saying like, do you, but be mindful of the other voices in the room, and always consult people in the community. If I was receiving a lot of feedback about like, a sermon I gave wasn't good, like, I think that it's important that I sit down, I reflect on what I did, and I really internalize that feedback. So I think it's, you need to find like the middle ground, the happy place.
Awesome. Unfortunately, Galia and Eli and whoever has their hand raised in 8A, we are out of time. But fortunately, 8A, you have Rabbi Rebecca. She's your teacher. Eli, Rabbi Rebecca knows how to find you. And 6th graders, you also have Rabbi Rebecca, even today, I think. So you can follow up. But anyways, let's give some more love and appreciation to Rabbi Rebecca for that amazing speech and question and answer. You are awesome, and we are very blessed to have you in our community.
And you, Rabbi.
Thank you. Okay, everyone, have a wonderful rest of your day. Shabbat shalom. We'll see you later.